It was years later. Then something else happened to me. By then this was, it must be already the year 1995. So we were in Scotland. And we had made several attempts to mint the first gold dinar. And it just didn't work. We couldn't get the supply, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. Months have passed by and we couldn't have the coins. So one day I decided enough is enough. I have to go and do it. But I mean, I was a man of no possessions, but I had enough to buy one ticket to Dubai. So I decided to buy the ticket and go. Now, when I went, I had no money to mint the coin. Nothing as well. So, I mean, I was not bound by reason. I was moving by the heart. But I knew nothing of what was going to come. Just now, when I left that morning, I had to go to Aberdeen because I bought a very cheap flight. I had to leave from Aberdeen, Amsterdam, and then Dubai. So the journey from Inverness to Aberdeen is 2 hours train. So I got in the morning, I got my bag, I got the ticket, put it in my thing, and I just left in the train. When I arrived in Aberdeen, just to catch the plane, I went to the airport. I arrived to the airport and I went to pick up my tickets, and I suddenly, instead of the ticket, I found my optical description, the eye test. It was the same envelope. I have put it just together with the other one, probably on top of it. So when I left in the morning, I just picked up the wrong envelope. Not the ticket, but this one. Rationally, I would have gone back. No, because there was not a chance. And there was no electronic tickets in those days. And I was there in the airport, and I calibrating I should go back. So I mean, it's not a chance. And then I said to myself, no, but I'm going for Sabilillah. I'm going for Allah. And I remembered what Hajj Abdul Aziz did. Now, Hajj Abdul Aziz was called. The Sheikh was in London. And he said, I need you here. And Hajj Abdul Aziz didn't have any money. So he said, well, if I have any chance to get a plane, I have to go to the airport. So he went to the airport without any money or ticket. At least I had a ticket. He didn't have a ticket. He went to the airport because this is where the planes leave. Now, that's reason too, isn't it? I mean, it wasn't completely irrational. Yeah, the fact that he didn't have a ticket, well, I mean, that's another secondary matter. He went there and he found one of those tickets, round the world ticket. And there was one, obviously somebody had done the whole thing, and but there was one thing left. And he said, well, will I be able to use it? He thought. And he went to the counter and he said, can I use this? I said, yeah, just fill your name. And he filled the name and he got a ticket to London. Now, of those stories, I mean, I don't care about anything, but the thing that hallucinates me is he being sitting down somewhere he was in America, so I don't know where they were. I think they were in California at the time. He was in Los Angeles. He receives the phone call and he goes to the airport. I mean, what kind of madness goes into your brain? Normally, everybody goes to the bank, goes to this, goes to a friend. No, he goes to the planes. It's amazing. So anyway, I had that in mind, and I said I have to do something about it. So you know what I did? I went to the queue. If I want to have any chance of getting in, I have to go to the queue. So I went to the queue, and I arrived, and And, you know, everybody was presented a ticket, and when my turn arrived, they said, your ticket? I don't have a ticket. And the lady told me, so what do you want? I said, well, maybe I had a ticket, but I don't have it here with me. And what do you want me to do? You know, they have the ticket, that's it. So I said, yeah, it's true. And I left. What can I do? And then I gathered myself again, and I said, Allah, I'm going for you. Help me. And I went back to the queue. And then there was a little bit less number of people. So, and I just went, and the lady saw me, and they started smiling. I said, I mean, you cannot possibly be here again. I arrived, and I said, I want to go into this plane. But you don't have a ticket. I know, but you know, I had a ticket. And I mean, there was thing. Probably they thought this is so comic and so absurd and so bizarre that they took pity on me. And the supervisor came and said, "What's going on?" He said, "This guy, he doesn't have a ticket." But he said he has one, but he doesn't have a ticket. He said, "We cannot issue a ticket for you. I'm sorry. You know, you don't have to sleep. That's it." He said, "I know." I said, "You know, I tried to call my company, but it's Sunday. It was a Sunday, and it's closed." I said, "Which company it is?" And they told me, "This one." I think they have an office in London. Why didn't you call there? I said, "Please, yes, call." And I called, and there was somebody, and they never issued tickets, never, ever. But somehow the guy, on Sunday, it was the manager of the company, and you know, never. But they did. He asked me, "Do you really have the ticket?" I said, I promise I do." They really, okay, I'm going to issue the ticket for you. And they issued me the ticket. And boom, I went through. But at that point, they said, the lady told me, "Yeah, you got the ticket, but I'm afraid the plane has left." You know, with all these things, they have passed the whole thing. And honestly, at that point, there was a ding, dang, dang, dong. The flight, it has 10 minutes delay. The lady tells me, "Don't take your luggage directly into the plane, just rush." And I just rushed, and boom, I was in the plane. From that moment of saying this to that, I had passed like 10 minutes. And I said, "Thank you, Allah. I do this journey for you, and nothing but to you. This journey is my journey of Tawakkal." That's what I said to myself. And then I went. And I said, "Thank you, Allah. I do this journey for you, and nothing but to you. This journey is my journey of Tawakkal." That's what I said to myself. And then I went. And then I arrived to Sharjah, and I was with a friend of mine called Muhammad. And as I arrived, he came with an article from a newspaper that one mufti from Egypt has said that the only way to eliminate the power of the US dollar is to go back to the gold dinar. Awesome. Anyway, I said, "Wow, this is a great sign, and the Arabs will wake up to this." So anyway, I wanted to mint. So I said to Muhammad, "Who is the best minter in Dubai? When you have no money, what is the point of getting something cheap? You know, I mean, you don't have any money. You say, what is the best jewelry that is around?" So I said, "Well, the best," he didn't know. He called a friend of his called Aitani. He said, "Well, the best person in gold in Dubai is Muhammad Shaykh. But he doesn't receive anybody. I mean, he's very particular." I said, No, I want to go and see him." So my friends took me there. And, you know, I was going to ask him to make the coins. Somehow. I didn't know how because I didn't have the money. So, but I had to go to the planes. Because else, how else are you going to fly? So I went there, and I sat down, And I said to him, what can I say to him? Well, I better talk about Allah, because this is the only thing that I can possibly say. So I started to say the whole story about the gold dinar. We do this thing for Allah, and if we obey Allah, we succeed. If we obey the kuffar, we will be a failure. Muhammad Shakari was sitting down there looking at me like this. And when I finished, he said, like this, condescending. He said, look, I know this business. Okay? I know this business of gold. I'm a gold dealer. My father was a gold dealer. My grandfather was selling gold to these kings in the Middle East when there was no oil yet. You don't understand the chance of doing what you want to do. Not a chance. Really, don't you understand? The Arabs are totally dependent on America. If America wants, they can buy all the gold. They have enough money for doing that. They can buy the entire country if they want to. It is impossible what you are talking about. I mean, he was so crude, not acknowledging anything of what I had said. So crude and so rude I felt, that I remember I said to myself, all right, you are not the one who is going to mint the coin, but before I go here, I'm going to give you a lesson. And I said to him, this is the problem. You know what is the problem with all of you? Is that you still don't have any taqwa. You fear Allah, but you fear America more. You believe in La hawla wa la quwwata illa United States more than you believe in La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You fear everything except Him. You follow everybody except Him. And that's why you stay in the state you are in. If you really want to have any chance in this world, you better stick to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because that's what you are for. You are just filth of the earth. And the kuffar keep laughing at you. And I was really, I said it really strong. My friend, Mohammed Makawi, who had brought me there, he was like this, what have you done? They are going to throw us out, But Mohammed Makawi, he saw me so angry. The Arabs have this thing. When you become very temperamental, they either throw you away and you never see them ever, or they say, this man is sincere. And that would happen. And then he looked at me and said, well, you know what, I don't believe in what you're doing, but I'm going to mint your coins for free. I'm going to do the dice for free, and I'm going to mint the first 1,000 coins for free. Just like that. I was hallucinated, but Muhammad Makawi, I saw a glimpse on the back, he was like, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And that's how the first dinar of Dubai appeared. There was, if there is any similarity to reason in this story, it's pure chance. Planning, zero. I heard about the guy hours before, because I went the day after. That's how it happened. I promise to you, if I would have gathered all my means, if to make this decision I would have looked into myself and looked into what I know, I would have never done it. If I would have been reasonable, I would have never done it. It would have been impossible. If I had, I was in dear circumstances economically, but if I would have kind of gathered out what I could, I still could not have done that. As a matter, I got the largest refinery in the world, minting my coins. One of the most highly respected individuals in the Middle East, in the Gulf, in the gold business, doing my coins. But instead, I abandoned reason. And I relied upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I say abandon reason, please don't think you become irrational. I still took a train and took a plane, and I you know, I didn't want to walk. You know, I mistaken the car, my ticket, but that was not in purpose. So not to follow reason doesn't mean become irrational, as that picture of irrationality as somebody who's crazy. It simply means that is something to take into account, but you don't rely upon it. You rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The stories I can tell you is endless. This one is just one because of the gold dinar. This is how the gold dinar started, just in case somebody wants to know. This is how the first gold dinar was invented. Out of a complete flash of explosion of, I had to do something about it. And I had to really ask everybody in my community who had power to get it done.